Next up, we have Carla Bosaki. She is a PR and media expert who you might recognize from the news, by the way. And her firm, the Contessa Group, specializes in strategies for mining companies to attract and retain top talent. So, as we know, women make up only 10 to 16% of the mining workforce in general, and that's even down from past years. So, mining, when it's considering this talent crisis, really does need to tap into this previously overlooked talent pool and see what we can do to take that trend in the upward direction even further. And beyond that, attracting women and Indigenous people toward careers in mining, including how to foster genuine interest among those communities to consider mining as a valuable and fulfilling career path. So welcome, Carla.
Thank you, Erica. How are you? What a
I'm
great
excellent. How
morning
are
so far.
you?
I'm great. I am learning so much. All our speakers have been fantastic, informative. It's been great so far. And thank you for letting me be part of this as well, you and Heather.
It's a pleasure to have you, and I agree. What an exciting day so far, right? We're not even at the, I guess we're at the halfway point now, and we've
We're
heard from
almost
so
done.
many
I'm the
different
second
speakers.
last speaker. Helen is after me.
Well, thank
So
you for that reminder on the agenda. We are
yeah.
going to have a panel discussion. Our speakers will be sticking around. Speakers, don't leave, please. Or if you do, don't forget to come back for our panel discussion at the end. So that will be another opportunity for our audience to interact with the participants, ask them anything that they might want to interact with our speakers, pardon me, as well as draw out some of the themes that we've seen. So there's been some overlap. There's been something different that each of our speakers have brought to the table. And Carla, that's where I'd love to start with you, is
Mhm.
let's really zoom in on what makes your firm and your contribution to Artemis unique. So that's PR, public relations, right? Can you just maybe give us a little bit of a PR 101 for those of us who are not deep experts in that field as you are? How does this work? What is the role of PR as far as this mining talent crisis, and how can it make a difference?
Sure, absolutely, Eric. And that's a great word to start because a lot of people don't really understand what PR or public relations is. So before I get to that, I just want to look at the big picture and ask all of you, why are we all here? Like, what is the biggest problem that we're facing right now? And it's all the same, right? We have this problem that there's not enough women in mining. We're not attracting them. We're not retaining them. And what if I told you that a really great PR campaign can actually help solve that problem? And it can. And I'm going to explain that to you right away. So let's first talk about what PR is. And really, there's four main jobs of PR. And one is to create awareness. It's to build credibility. It's to maintain and build relationships. And it's also to influence the public's attitude towards an organization or a person, which is key because I believe it was Peggy that just mentioned about the media. And we all know normally the media does not put mining in a great spot. And there's always a bad story that's being told. And it's just really needs to be changed. And that's where I come in because I'm not looking at the negative. I'm here to promote women in the industry, show what they're doing, show that this is a career that they can have, and just change the outlook for younger women who are looking for a career. So that's where I'm different from everybody else. My key is women, and I love working with the women at the Artemis Project because we partner up together, and I partner up with our last speaker, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But let me ask you something. What is the most successful PR campaign that you can think of? And there's been many over the years. One of the most popular and well-known ones, though, I think is Nike. Nike's Just Go For It campaign really sparked some emotion. The sales went through the roof. It was a great campaign. It got exactly what they want. But I want to talk to you about one that's a little bit different. It could probably put a smile on your face, but it worked. And it's because they had a clear vision. They knew who their target market was. They knew where to find them. And the PR company came up with a really creative out-of-the-box story that generated emotion. And I think that's key too in PR campaigns for them to be successful. You have to generate emotion. So when you think of the state of Alaska, what do you normally think about? Probably that it's pretty barren. It's really cold. It's dark for most of the year, frigid temperatures, lots of fishing, moose, bear. Not really a place that you want to draw women to, or where there's probably not a women that live there. And the majority of the people that live there are males, right? That's probably what you think of. So when the state of Alaska decided that they needed to attract more women to move to the state because they did have a shortage, they came up with a really creative out-of-the-box campaign. Now, I'm not suggesting this is a campaign that we would use by any means. I just want to show you how an out-of-the-box, targeted, creative, clear, and emotional PR campaign can be extremely successful. And as I mentioned, I hope this puts a smile on your face. So the state hired some Alaskan firefighters. And what do you think they did? They stripped down to their pants and they had their suspenders on and they held an axe and they put a calendar together and they put together these great photos of these buff looking men and they put it out there. And guess what happened? They targeted women who were outside of Alaska who wanted to get married, and it worked. That was their specific target base, women who wanted to get married and couldn't find a man. The campaign was emotional because women could relate to it, and it was extremely successful. So what happened? Women from all over the US picked up and moved to Alaska in hopes of finding love. Now, this was years ago. As I mentioned, I am not by any means suggesting we do this, but I just wanted to give you a clear idea of how a really great out-of-the-box PR campaign can work if you target the correct demographics and know where to find them. So what I just told you was a very creative, clear, concise, targeted, emotional campaign, and that it can work. So next question, of course, would be, how would you target women? How are you going to target women who are not currently working in mining? That mining is a great career. Why
Well,
would a
just
woman want to
underline
come?
what you said, Carla, that
Yeah.
isn't necessarily that we want to go find a husband. That's maybe a stereotype
No.
we're working against as women in mining, right?
Absolutely
We'll
not.
just
In
get out
fact,
in front
that's
of that.
key. Yeah, that's key because women these days are very independent. We want to work for ourselves. We want to have a good work-life balance. We want to make our own money. We want to be independent. We're not looking for marriage. Younger women these days, especially the younger demographic, that's not what they want. They want to make money. They want to have job security. They want to travel when they're not working. They want to come back and know that their job is safe and they're safe at it. And that's where PR comes in, because we need to educate the younger women out there that mining is a lucrative career. It's not what it used to be. That is evolving and the narrative is changing. And by having a creative PR campaign, we can continue to change that narrative. And that's what my job is. My job is in public relations, and it's key for me to come up with a good narrative. So working with mine companies, this is sort of an overview of what I would do, because every company is different and every company offers something different. So what I do is I go and I visit the mine site and I spend some time out there. I speak to women who are already working within the company in various job roles, and I address issues and concerns that obviously women have, right? Safety on the job site is one. Childcare is another, because a lot of these women have children and they're on their own. They want a sense of community. When they're not working, do they have friends there? Are they isolated? What's life going to be like? So I go out and I see what this is all about firsthand. I see what the lifestyle is. I notice the good and the bad, because of course there's going to be good and bad about everything. And I find out what the attraction would be. What is the main why? Why would somebody want to come and work here? Why does somebody want to come and work for you? So I gather all my information and I craft my story and I come up with the key message points. Why would you want to work here? What are the opportunities for you? Why this company? What would your life be like? What does your future look like? These are all really important key questions to address and to answer. And once I do that, I come up with my key message points and my narrative, my story. And then the next part of this is to really key in on who my key demographic is. And then I figure out how to target them. Because not most people these days, actually 62% get their news not from TV or anymore, or newspapers like they used to 15, 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago, because that whole landscape has changed, and I know that very well. They get it from social media. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So you need to be creative as to how you go after your key demographic. And that's key for a successful campaign. Because you can have the best PR campaign out there, but if you're not reaching your target audience, then you're not going to see the results that you're expecting. So as
The
I
medium is
mentioned,
the
you need to
message,
know,
right? You got to find
yes,
them.
you need to fish where the fish are,
Hmm.
right? I mean, that's pretty much, what it comes down to. And also, I think it's really important, Erica, to educate women, right? We need to go out there, you need to go to the schools, not only universities, but go to high schools. When when younger women are trying to figure out what they want to do for a career, and they're presented with, certain choices that we've always had, but not too often that they actually consider a career in mining. And that's where we come in, and we want to educate women that this is a career path, because most of them don't even consider it. So whether we target the younger generation who haven't yet decided what career they want to get into, or we target women who want a career change. And I'm sure there's a few of you out there like myself who have had a few career changes over the years. We like change. And, why not a career in mining? It's lucrative. It can be a very beneficial career for you now and into the future. So that's really what I'm all about. I'm about changing the narrative. I want women to get past the belief that mining is just for men, and we need to teach our younger generation that this narrative has changed and it will continue to evolve. Mining is a lucrative career that can offer them so much: job security, advancement, inclusion, mentorship, continued education, a great life-work balance, that they will be valued and they will bring value to the company they work at. So educating is key, but also having them meet women that work within the mining industry already. Erica, I think it's so great. You bring women from all different levels, whether they're on the site or in the corporate office, to go and speak to the younger generation to say, hey, this is what it's really like. And then you get that emotional connection, because you get two women talking. You've got one who's already in the industry, one who's thinking about getting into the industry. And, you ask questions, you've got an emotional feelings going on. And I think that's key too. And I really believe that's important for the success of a PR campaign when it comes to hiring women in mining. Now, all of this is going to generate a lot of interest, not just for the younger generation, but as I mentioned, for women who are thinking about changing their career path. And all these are great points on having a really successful PR campaign. So great PR campaign is about thinking outside the box. It's about being creative. It's about crafting a great story. It's about being clear, concise. It's about communication. It's about knowing who your demographics are and where you're going to find them. And then, of course, you top it all off with generating some emotion. And if you have all these together, then you'll have success. So PR is vital to get people talking and to get attention, to stirring emotion, which then will drive people into action. And I think that's key as well. It's great to get the story out there, right, Erica? But we want people to act. We want these women to go, yeah, this is a career for me. We want them to get excited. We want them to ask questions. And that's key. That's what we want to do. So the next point, because in PR, there's stages, right? And obviously, you want to go out there, you want to see the site, you want to create your story, you want to meet people, you want to get it out in the media, you want to educate people. And now you've generated all this excitement, you've generated some interest. Now, what are you going to do? And this is what I'm really proud of as being part of the Artemis project, is that all of us women here, we work together. And so you don't just have me on board helping you, but you have me and Heather and Erica and Helen. And I'm going to specifically mention Helen because Helen from the Chrysalis Group is from a recruiting company, and she's your next speaker. But her and I have worked together in the past, and we find that the synergy of putting PR and a recruiting company together, works perfect because I generate the interest. I get the women that are wanting to know more. And then I hand all these candidates, these qualified candidates off to Helen, who then compiles them all into a database. And she'll tell you more about what she does, but it's wonderful for me to be able to tell you how great it is to work with someone else and how our two companies align and we work together. So we engage with them. We learn more about your company. We find out why you are different. We find out why people want to work for you, what you can offer. And then we find out ways that we can get them to be hired by you. And as I mentioned, that's what Helen does. And I'm really proud of the work that we've done in the past and the projects that we have going on, because you can have a great PR campaign, but if you don't see results, these people, you're not going to be happy. You want to see results at the end of it. And so all this comes together. So I hope that sort of explains things a little bit better for you as far as what PR is and what I do specifically. As I mentioned, I'm a little bit different. I'm a boutique company, so there's only a couple of us that work together. So you don't have the high overhead of a major firm. There's just us. We're boots on the ground. It's one-on-one. You've got lots of FaceTime, and we all work together. And we also work with your team that you already have in place. So I'm not here to replace anybody. I'm here to just add to it, to add value to what you're already doing and to bring a different perspective to it.
Carla, that is awesome. Talking to you, I'm starting to feel genuine excitement and
Oh,
optimism
good.
for this talent crisis thing, which is amazing. And thank you, Sandra, for popping Carla's contact info into the chat. If anyone wants to find her, that is a great place to start. Actually, we're going to move to the next speaker as you very
You're going to talk to Helen now.
Helen next. But I
Right.
encourage you to read the chat because there's some great invitations.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Really appreciate your perspective and your experience.
Thank you.